Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So Isabella has just arrived to the VN server and we're going to talk about her entire skill breakdown and speculate where she could potentially be useful. Now as of right now on day 1, she is not in the top team for Sigmund Dream Realm and she is not in the top team for Primal Lord. As of right now, things could change with more testing, but really the issue with Isabella, which we're going to talk about, is her ultimate ability. Number 1, it begins with 0 initial energy, which is unfortunate because she gets a lot of value off of it. But for example, if you're considering her in PvP or something, allowing her to actually ult before she dies, that's probably not going to happen in a standard match. Now, what she does with her ultimate, at the beginning of battle, the frontmost ally in deployment is going to be marked as her companion. And she is going to be able to heavily buff up this ally throughout the course of the match, with her ultimate specifically. However, the problem with this is if you're thinking about Dream Realm, the frontmost ally is usually always going to be the twins or some other tank or some other like Daemon to buff up because Daemon also gives a rearmost buff, like a hero who is behind him. So the issue is that Isabella is going to find it very difficult to get this buff onto your hyper carry for Dream Realm. And if you're going to use Isabella's buff, then basically you're going to have to sacrifice other buffs like twins, maybe even Daemon buff. The advantage of this is just really going to be for the Dream Realm Nocturne Judicator boss because you have the Midnight Hunter, he's fixed in position, he has to be frontmost, and he deals massive damage. So like Isabella is probably no question about it, she is going to be an absolute beast for buffing up Midnight Hunter and Nocturne Judicator. But apart from that, what is actually she providing? Okay, so basically what is going to happen here is whenever the ally who is frontmost, who is appointed as a companion, is receiving a buff of any one of these 6 different stats, attack speed, haste, physical defense, magical defense, or vitality, she is going to record a spell note for that ally. Now, when she actually casts her ultimate, she is going to convert these spell notes into bonus attack percent and also haste for the ally who is the frontmost. And in total, you can stack this up to 3 times, so 3 stacks, and at the maximum level, that's going to be 3 times 15%, that's 45% total attack, physical defense, and magical defense, and also 3 times 15 is 45 haste, and that is going to be in addition to just the base attack and haste that she will provide your ally. So basically, it will be a 15% attack buff and a 15 haste buff to the frontmost ally, and for each spell note you have, and if you have a maximum stack of 3, this is in total going to be 60% attack and also 60 haste and also some defenses as well. And it is going to last for 8 seconds after casting your ultimate, and that is massive. When you're talking about the Midnight Hunter being able to give him a 60% attack buff, a 60 haste buff just from one hero, which is Isabella, is really strong. However, the good news about this is that, look at this, it is only scaling on the companion's attack. There's no mention that her attack buff and that she provides the ally is based on her own attack, which means that she can work potentially even at low copies, because if it's just her ultimate and it's just mainly this skill you want and you're giving that attack buff to that ally, she can work probably even at 1 copy as long as she's able to survive, because it will have the same effectiveness. A 1 copy or a Paragon 4 Isabella is going to have the same effectiveness from her ultimate. So far. Okay, so that is kind of the good news, but really I'm only seeing it in Midnight Hunter for Nocturne Judicator. Like, that's basically it, because any other team, you're never going to have your hypercarry at the frontmost position, because then you have to give up on too many buffs if you're going to do that, and then it wouldn't even be worth it. Okay, Lingering Grace. This is a 6-second cooldown, her skill 2. Isabella targets only her companion with the skill, healing them for 400% attack multiplier, which is not bad, and then dealing damage to enemies, adjacent enemies to the companion. 100% of the damage is converted into extra healing for her companion. So pretty nice healing skill on only a 6-second cooldown. This is pretty interesting, but like for Dream Realm, you don't need that healing. Is mainly going to be like a PvP oriented skill as far as I can tell from it. Yeah, and if we're talking about PvP again, the problem is this is going to be a 0 energy initial. So like, how is she going to cast her ultimate or get any value of this unless she has value on the other skills? Like, she's probably going to die before she can even cast a single ultimate. But these buff increases as well, attack, and oh wow, it also increases attack speed and vitality. We forgot to mention this, but this 15 plus 15 per stack, when you have the 3 stacks, that's 45, not only haste but also vitality and attack speed. And that vitality is useful for other heroes like Baelran, for example, in PvP, attack speed and haste both, and they're kind of like stacking with each other. So like, definitely some really nice buffs here, but like in PvP, how is she going to cast her ultimate is a problem, right? Yeah. Okay, So, but maybe there could be a way of using her with Baelran. But the problem is attack is not benefiting Baelran that much because he's an HP scaling damage here. This doesn't increase HP, just increase attack speed and haste, and vitality, which would help Baelran, but the attack doesn't help him that much. Okay, next one is skill 3 is Hexward. This is a 0-second cooldown. After a companion is affected by control effects for 5 seconds, Isabella can make them unaffected for 2.5. So there's a PvP oriented because in Dream Realm you're not really going to be unaffected at all. This effect can trigger once every 5 seconds. But they have to be under control effects for 5 seconds. That's a long duration before you only get any value here. And additionally, when an enemy hero deals 350% damage to a companion, Isabella reduces that enemy's attack by 60%. And this effect can only trigger once every 5 seconds. And it goes up to 75%. So this is pretty crazy, right? A 75% attack reduction onto enemies. Whoa. Yeah, this is actually for PvP. Now we're kind of talking because... like, I mean, if you have some frontline tank who's getting buffed up with Isabella, and then after they deal a certain damage to that tank hero, they get massively attack reduced. 75%, but what exactly does this mean? 75% of her attack? Increase attack reduction affected by Isabella to 75% of her own attack. 75% of her own attack, but that's still huge, right? Are you actually going to just cut their attack down to almost nothing? So if this could be really strong for PvP, especially in stall comps, just completely shutting down their attack. But then you have other damage sources. Like, attack is not the only thing. Well, like, attack is a major damage source for a lot of heroes, but Baelran is an HP-based damage dealer. But a lot of other heroes are just raw attack-based damage dealers. Yeah, this is actually pretty massive, this debuff. This is, like... Let me know what you guys think about this one. Then Hero Focus, increase assistance by 50 during battle. That increases the effectiveness of our buffs, I believe. Does it even increase the effectiveness of our debuffs? Do we have it over here? Assistance, where is assistance? It is other stats. It is right over here. Every point increases the duration of most buffs. Oh, is it increases duration? Okay, so 50% longer duration of our buffs, but debuffs no effect, right? It's just her buffs, which is mainly her attack and all this haste and vitality and attack speed stuff that she has. Okay. Yeah, and the other thing about this ultimate is that if a companion is defeated, Isabella will select a new one, although that probably is not going to happen. Like, even in PvP, the thing is, she's probably going to be dying before her companion dies. Okay, then we have our exclusive skill, Retributive Echo. When Isabella casts her ultimate, she also debuffs the enemy who has dealt the most damage to her companion, temporarily reducing the stats linked to active spell. Like, I mean, already you have a 75% attack debuff. How much more are you going to debuff them? Temporarily reducing the stats linked to active spell node stacks from Isabella's ultimate. Temporarily reducing the stats linked to active spell node stacks. So like these stats, right? Attack, physical defense, magical defense, attack speed, haste, vitality. I mean, if you can, because these are active spell node stacks, right? So if you're going to reduce a defense shred, that could be even useful for a boss. And attack speed, haste, and vitality. For boss content, that's not useful, but of course, for PvP, that can be useful. But again, this is based on her ultimate, and I think she's going to die before she casts her ultimate, even one time in PvP. Increases debuff effectiveness to 90% of the original buff value. And then increases debuff effectiveness to 100% of the original buff value. Okay, this one I think is 100% of the original buff value, which is going to be this, right? 100%, so like you're going to be buffing with these active spell node stacks, like all of these stats up to 45% and 45, haste, vitality, attack speed, and you're going to debuff that target by those same percentage stats, so up to 45% physical and magical defense shred. Which, I mean, yeah, for bosses, there's some use to that. When a buff from Isabella's ultimate expires, she recovers 180 energy for every spell node type at maximum stacks. Each time Isabella casts her ultimate, she can recover up to 540 energy. Yeah, so if you have 3 stacks, right, you're going to get 540 energy when they wear off. When those buff stacks wear off on the opponent or your target, but they're going to last for 8 seconds, and they're going to last for actually 50% boosted of that because of assistance. They're going to last for 12 seconds rather than 8 seconds. So after that 12 seconds wears off, then you're going to get 540 energy back, and then get your next ultimate off faster. Yeah, I mean, but again, PvP, I just think that how is she going to get an ultimate off? Like, for PvP, it's just basically this massive attack debuff onto enemies who are targeting your frontline tank. But then what people are going to do, if you're running Isabella on defense, they're just going to go for assassin-based comps, whether it be Sylvina, Vala, Alicet, targeting those backline, because then you'll just dodge the frontmost ally who's being supported by Isabella. So that's basically the thing. Okay, but then we have the Enhanced Force. Whenever Isabella's companion receives a buff that increases their attack, physical defense, or magical defense by at least 15%, or increases their attack speed, haste, or vitality by at least 15. Isabella gains an extra stack of the corresponding spell note. So this is just going to allow her to stack faster, right? This is just going to allow her to stack faster. There's still a maximum limit of 3 stacks. Each type of spell note can stack up to 3 times. I think even though this says each spell note can stack up to 3 times, there's actually going to be 3 of these type of spell notes and 3 of these type of spell notes, right? 3 of either attack, physical defense, and magical defense, and 3 of attack, speed, haste, and vitality. Isn't that going to be the thing? So you're going to have to stack up both of them independently. It's not like you just stack up to 3 stacks from any any stat buff of these 6 different types, and then both of them are going to be at maximum capacity. Yeah, so I'm a bit confused about that, but basically all I can say for certainty is that with the Supreme Plus ability, she's going to stack up her spell note stacks quicker, like double the speed, because she's going to get an extra stack when you're buffing by at least this much. So when we're talking about Dream Realm, obviously if you were sending her to Supreme Plus, she's going to get more value. However, I'm thinking for Nocturne Judicator, her ultimate alone, as long as she's able to survive, just having her at 1 copy is probably going to be enough to put her in the best team. Because this is actually insane. And she just needs to survive and keep casting, and she's going to be good to go. Obviously, if you want to min-max everything, you'll want to get her Supreme Plus. And would you? You don't even need to get plus 15. Like, plus 10 exclusive equipment for some cycling, but, like, even that, I don't think is that important, because you're going to have the twins on your team, like in Nocturne Judicator. Isabella's going to be cycling her ultimate pretty quickly already. And the buff lasts for 12 seconds anyway. Like, I think in that 12 seconds, 8 seconds plus the 50 assist is going to be 12 seconds total. And in those 12 seconds, you're probably just going to naturally recover your energy back to 1000 to immediately recast it after it wears off. So, like, I don't think you'll even need this energy bonus recovery for Dream Realm content if you have the twins on your team as well. I'm expecting you won't need it. So, like, really, yeah, I mean, Supreme Plus plus 5 exclusive equipment, maybe Supreme Plus plus 10 for maximum efficiency for Nocturne Judicator. If you want in PvP, of course, then you need a Paragoner. But, like, all I'm seeing for PvP is basically this attack debuff, because I don't think she's going to be casting her ultimate in PvP. She's going to be dead before she can cast it. Starting with 0 energy, it's going to take ages for her to even cast the first ultimate. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about Isabella in the comment section down below. Are you excited for her? Are you planning to pull her 1 copy or beyond? Let me know what other ideas you have of where she could be useful, and in what comps you could be useful even in PvP. But anyway, guys, share your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching. If you guys are not already a member of my AFK Journey Discord server, please join that. There's a link to that in the description of this video. Also, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. There is a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.